Welcome to Out for the Count TV. We're joined by Thomas Crowder. Thomas, a win. How are you feeling, mate? And how do you assess your performance?
Feel great, to be honest. It were a good performance. It was a step up in calibre of opponent, and he really came to win today. So had to dig deep.
Definitely, and we've just been speaking. You almost had him out there in that last round. You know, what was going through your mind when that happened?
I thought they were going to get a standing count, and that was my own fault. So I just waited a bit too long, and then there were only about 8 seconds left in round. So I ran out of time more than anything. Just needed that extra round or extra 10 seconds.
Yeah, and you know, you like you say, you was in there with a really experienced opponent. But what can you take away from this fight?
Just learning every time, because he offered something completely different. He were a lot taller, a lot rangier than anyone I've fought before, and I was giving up a bit of weight as well. So just to be able to take the punches and close that distance.
Yeah. And in terms of your preparation for this fight, are you a fighter that stays fit all year round, or do you like to have an intense, camp before the fight?
I'm never out of gym, to be honest. I think I have probably in a year 2 weeks off around Christmas, and that's about it. So I'm always fit, just step it up a little bit more when we've got a fight day.
Yeah, and in the build up to this fight, it got announced that Fight Zone had done a deal with TalkSport. Obviously you've had thousands of people watch you tonight. How do you feel about that?
It's good because you just look around and there's like a couple of thousand people watching you anyway, and then to know that there's thousands and thousands watching that you don't even know about, and they now know who you are, it's a good feeling, to be honest.
You're starting to feel like a boxer now.
Yeah, people start to recognise you, and it's nice. They notice the work you've put in.
Yeah. Do you like that side of it, or is it something like is it still a little bit nerve-wracking at this point?
I'm not bothered about people necessarily knowing who I am, but if they see you perform and they know you've done well, then it's nice to get that recognition.
Yeah, and obviously this isn't your first rodeo when it comes to a Dennis Hobson show. What do you make of not only like the level of production with this show, but the aspirations that Dennis and the team have got, and the knock-on effects that might have for your career?
I think just the deal with TalkSport that they've done just shows that they want to really take this Sheffield boxing to another level, and by Dennis wanting to do that, it also helps us young boxers further our careers.
Definitely, and it's still early on in your career, and even early on in the year. How many more fights do you want to have this year, and when can we next expect to see you in the ring?
I think 4 fights this year would be a good amount. I'd like to be back out in June again, just to keep it rolling and keep him fresh.
And just finally, you've brought out a good number of fans with you tonight. What's your message for them and for the support that they've given you? Just
a massive thanks as always, because if they don't turn up, then I don't get to do what I enjoy and love. So massive thank you to everybody.
Top man. Well, hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. All right, mate. Top man.